Hey, I'm Zoe, and this is the Relentless Reset. No formulas, no fixes, just short, honest reflections on navigating the messy middle of growth and becoming.
If your life were a stage, what would your set say before you even walked on? Would it tell the story of someone grounded and alive in their own skin, or someone still performing a role that no longer fits? In theater, the production designer imagines the world where the characters live and the action unfolds. They collaborate with all the designers, sets and costumes and lighting and sound, everyone, to bring that world to life. The sets will tell you about the world of the play. Is it warm and lived in, or cold and sterile, chaotic or carefully ordered? You can feel it before an actor ever steps on the stage. Similarly, the costumes tell you about the characters before a word is spoken. Are they playful, lonely, ambitious, stuck? And when the sets and costumes aren't aligned, it creates a dissonance. The audience may not know why, but they can feel it. Our lives work the same way. Every surface, every object, every piece of clothing, every hour on your calendar tells the world a story about who you are. Sometimes the story is outdated, and as we know, sometimes it was never yours to begin with. Now, for some of you, starting with the emotional work, the inner voice, the feelings, might feel harder and less natural, and that's okay. This episode is your bridge, because this is about noticing how the body shifts when your physical environment and presence reflect who you're becoming. It's the same work. You are still listening for and learning your own signals. You're just starting with your physical and sensory world instead of starting in your feelings. Back in episode 4, we talked about costumes, the ones we wear to perform the role the world expects of us. And I also told you about the moment a friend came to visit my first apartment and said, "It's really nice. I just don't see much of you here." And she was right. The apartment was well planned and organized, but it was literally devoid of character, sort of designed to be inoffensive to others rather than truly reflective of me. And the truth is, I had no idea what my space would look like if it were reflective of me. I didn't know what it meant to live in a space that told my story. And that was a real reset moment for me. Now, what I've realized since then is that our style, both the things we put on and the spaces we live in, can either keep us in that old role or invite us into a truer version of ourselves. The difference, the key, is both awareness and intention. When we use style for performance, we're trying to convince the world of a version of us we think they want to see. On the other hand, when we use style for embodiment, we're not trying to convince the world of anything. We are creating an environment that lets our own bodies experience our becoming self, even if that self is still just a whisper. And as we explored in the last episode, your body will tell you when your style is aligned with that becoming self. You might notice your shoulders drop, or your jaw unclench, or your chest feel more open. An outfit might make you stand a little taller, or the way you feel in a room might shift. Maybe you move with a little more ease. Your style is a physical cue that tells your system, this is me, it's safe to take up space here. But it has to be intentional and authentic to get there without falling back into performance. So let's try a space reset together. Pick one small space in your life, a drawer, a fridge, your closet, your desktop, and imagine your life as a stage. What's crowding the scene? Which items belong to a role you are no longer playing? In whatever space you've chosen, remove 3 things that belong to the old version of you, not the version you're becoming, the version you're ready to leave behind. And if you're uncertain, place the items in a box or a closet first. Now pause. Give it a day or two, then check in. Do these items belong to the person I'm becoming or not? But notice how your body responds to this space you've created. Maybe your breath feels easier, your neck feels less constricted, or your eyes just rest more calmly in the room. And here's the key. Don't rush to fill it back up. If all you do is subtract, that's still progress. Process of elimination is progress. I find it fascinating to watch people move into new spaces. The instinct is almost always to fill it up immediately, to make it feel finished. And so often that filling happens with inoffensive placeholders, the live, laugh, love signs, the generic candle holders and vases, the mass market art that could belong to anyone. It's the kind of stuff that's so much for everyone that it is actually for no one. But there's no rush. This isn't about creating a perfect space. This is a layered, evolving process just as you are. The point is to notice what no longer aligns and create space for the person you're becoming. Now, you might revamp a space and feel great about it. And then a month later, you find another little sticky item you didn't recognize before. Totally fine. That's how this works. My friends know that I love to putter around my apartment. For me, that just means sort of meandering, intentionally feeling the space. Sometimes removing or moving items around to, see how the energy shifts. It's a meditation, like an alignment practice. It's a gentle, ongoing conversation between my space and my body. So now let's extend this to your calendar, because our digital life says just as much about who we are as our physical space. One of my earliest resets showed up on a calendar. I was focused on improving my health, so I started scheduling workouts like meetings. They weren't if I have time anymore. They became non-negotiable. I intentionally scheduled my life to make space. So look at your week ahead. What does it say about you? Are your days filled with events you look forward to, or are they overbooked with obligations that feel draining? Does your scheduled time reflect the person you think you have to be, or the person you're becoming? See if you can remove one commitment that doesn't belong anymore, and maybe add one block that's fully yours, even if it's just 15 minutes. It's the practice that's important. Then pause. Take a slow inhale. Notice your body's reaction. And if and when you add something back, either to your space or your calendar, let it come from embodiment and not performance. From want, not should. This practice isn't an indulgence or an extravagance. A clean desktop isn't a luxury, it's a necessity, because every object on your desk is like an open tab, quietly pulling at your attention. When you clear it or even make it intentional, you close the tabs. You free up space to be more focused, more effective. Let your personal evolution and your style evolution feed each other. It doesn't have to be one before the other. It can be a synchronous experience. Sometimes the character informs the style. Your inner evolution shapes the clothes you choose or the objects you reach for. And sometimes the style can inform the character. A single object or outfit can call your becoming self forward. It gives your body courage. And maybe it amplifies the sort of quiet signal of the self you're stepping into. So here's the reframe I want you to take with you. Style is authorship. Whether you've designed it intentionally or not, your space and your style are already speaking for you. So now that you're aware of it, you get to author the next act with intention. Your space, presence, and schedule are some of the breadcrumbs of your becoming. They can either hide you or amplify you. But when they reflect who you are truly becoming, they guide you toward the path that's meant for you. Finally, give yourself the grace to be a work in progress. You are allowed to like one thing today and something entirely different tomorrow. Remember, you do not owe anyone consistency, but you do owe yourself the chance to feel fully at home in your own life. I once heard Kenji Yoshino say that when his parents said, "We love you," he trusted the love. But because the version of you he was showing them wasn't authentic, he couldn't really trust the you. So your environment and your style are part of how you start believing in the you that you are becoming. Belonging starts here, at home in yourself, long before anyone else arrives. When you start to live more fully as yourself, some people will lean in, and others may step away. And that's okay. As Mel Robbins says, let them. The ones who stay, the ones who show up for the more authentic version of you, they are your people. They will show you what true belonging looks like. And that's where we're heading next. So, reset as many times as you need, and I'll see you next week.